Boss. That's what we called this thing back in the day. I think it looks a little bit better, honestly, without the headache rack on it. It's growing on me. I think it's been on there for so long, just never knew what it looked like without it. But ultimately, this truck needs not a full restoration, but pretty close to it. The box side has got a pretty nasty dent in it. They can repop the sides, which seems like an okay option. The rest of the box seems okay. But today we're going to go ahead and pull the box off of it, clean the frame, assess whatever we got to deal with underneath there. And I already started sanding over here, just kind of dinking around to see what we were diving into. And up here I like what I'm seeing. But mechanically this thing's going to need a little bit underneath. I did get a new clutch. I'll show you that in a second. We got to pop that in there. But when it comes down to why I sold this truck, it might have been a large percentage of it is because the paint was starting to fade. And at the time, I didn't want to spend the money on a paint job. Now, if you got to, do the quick math, to bring a truck like this back around, sure, I did get it cheaper than I sold it to the guy for, but it had been many years later, miles added to it, damage occurred to it, and it needs stuff. But if you start to think things that this truck needs, like a clutch, that could be upwards of $1,000 right there. Even more if you don't install it yourself. A paint job, I'll tell you right now, the paint for material on the paint to spray on it, color, will cost at least $1,000. Forget some good single stage to do it simple. It goes even higher than that. So paint alone, then we got to do body work, Bondo, primer, whole nine. The paint job on this thing is going to cost probably more than I paid for the truck, all said and done, and I'm going to be doing all the work myself. So you got to think about those kind of deals when you step into a project like this. But man, I'm really digging how that looks without the headache rack on it. I think it's going to have to stay like that. Because my boy, Andrew at Long Range Gear, he is a dealer for clutches and all kinds of other stuff for transmission. So you need some parts, hit him up. Order the clutches through him. I got a Valera single disc organic with the upgraded hydraulics, wherever that's at. And then I also got some more goodies coming for this truck. Andrew's got a innovative new cross member for a second gen. We're going to put it on this truck. Today's the first day, restoration, my boy. Right here, looped up and down, up and around. It's got that in there, bunch of junk. I'm gonna go ahead and take the bumper off. Might as well drop that. Those things always hang up on you. You got to drop the spare and pull the pin. But let's see how the frame looks like. It's pretty good shape. The old boy put a new fuel line on her. That's a neat trick. He just welded the fifth wheel rails right on there. Ran over my basket. Why don't you guys say something back there? Okay, I gotta get the ship boot and all that stuff off the top hat before I can pull in the lift. Do that, pull her up, do everything we just did. But hey, you saw the last video. I wanted to check to see if there was something actually going on with the clutch. Swapped out hydraulics, swapped out input, or not input. What did we swap out? Pilot bearing. Those things jam up. Pilot bearing is in the flywheel, and the input shaft rides on that. So if that thing comes up, it's essentially spinning your input shaft, making it hard to go in and out of gear. I wanted to check all those boxes because it was mainly out of curiosity. So basically spent a day and a half for nothing except for knowledge. So, but it's going to be lighter this time because I took the bed and the bumper off, so the lift should act the exact same lifting the truck up. It's kind of funny where it all started from. Right back there, working on the same truck, same transmission, a 5-speed swapped into it. Never thought I'd see it again, but here it is. Heavily debating on, do I save the doors or not? Leaning towards save the doors. A little bit of metal work, a little bit of Bondo. Plug it. Call it good. Had to get some lunch. Starting to get the shakes. Plus I need some energy to pull this transmission real quick. Throw in this new Valero. Nice day. Nice day. Got the shop door open. Cooler's not even on. That's a nice day right there. Yeah. Let's get to work. So you get these 4 bolts out of each side, and this is how you get them out. This one's been out a couple of times. Some of them are very difficult. Some of them work like you would hope. This one, granted, I am on a lift right now, or granted, the truck is on the lift. That came out not bad. Safety precaution right here, double down. I normally always pull the transfer case, but since we are not doing anything to the trans, thought I'd just leave it up in there. Transfer case on, a little sketchy, not gonna lie. Heart rate went up. But let's look at this. Now I was talking with Andrew at the long range here. So this is a center force clutch. I put this in there, no joke, Christmas Day 2013. It's got these weights on it that the more you rev the rig, it's supposed to tighten the clutch so that you get a good drivable, street clutch, but then it'll hold bigger horsepower when you're going down track, because this thing's a race truck. But looky here, the friction is Luke, whatever. That's all that one is, but it's literally perfectly fine. But this thing just, I don't know, the clutch fingers, those things they almost look a little bit worn now that I revisited this subject. Dive into the Valero single disc. So, save the flywheel, that thing's still good. And here's something else that I thought was funny. It's got like heat marks on the throwout bearing. I think maybe it's oil, grease, I don't know. It almost looks, it's definitely heated. Huh, so that's kind of weird. Maybe it's the hydraulics, maybe not, but this whole thing should take care of the going into gear difficult that we were experiencing. But look, this right here is the money. That is a big upgrade. Having a big old roller bearing so that your input shaft, if your input shaft's worn because the factory needle bearings wear into it, you can actually get more out of it, just saying. But this, there's no wear on your input shaft. It's all on the bearing. It's all caged. So we need to get that guy out of the way. Slap this big boy up on there. And it comes with new bolts. Get some red Loctite. I'm going to save those just in case I got a 5-speed swap down line and I need some bolts in a pinch. Well, let's see here. Just got a text from Andrew. Long range here. Shipping out the new cross member today. So it won't be here for this video, but it'll be here for the next one. And this might be a good intro for you guys. See that bad girl. Here's the Amazon one. Cast iron. Check this out. Pretty, I mean, it's got a braided line, cast iron. I'd say damn, that's even metal too. So, Valero and South Bend, they both use the same stuff. I'm going to save the old one. I don't actually know if that's the problem. I'll probably try it on another truck. But see how these show up? It's caged. And I'm pretty sure that has something to do with longevity. Keep it alive. Keep it caged. This one here, I'm going to put the rod back in it and zip tie it down, because, or tape it or something. Any of them that I've left out, and like if I take that one out of the truck and just put it on the shelf, go to use it, it won't have the pressure. So it won't disengage the clutch worth a dang. See if we can get this zigzag down into there. Wanted to try to have this thing. There we go. Okay. Now, damn truth right here. Just spent 20 minutes underneath the dang dash trying to get that clutch hooked up. There's my shifter. I'm gonna have to put the thing on it. Alright. Blair single disc. Cool. That virtually feels like no resistance. Yeah, before it wouldn't even let me really go into gear. Yeah, that's alright. Cool. One step done, now we gotta paint it. I want to get this stuff curing on there. This is, if the bottle will work. Failure to launch. This stuff that's in the bottle is rust cutter, and what it does is this surface rust right here, it will quit the rust. This bottle for like $3 at Home Depot. Damn, that stuff's throw. Anyway, here's something funny. I bought this bottle for like $3, $4 at Home Depot, and the nozzle just went out. So I put the nozzle off of a dollar store bottle on there, which is $1 for the bottle that came full of liquid. It's the same bottle. Different spray nozzle though, look at that. Took me 3 hours to swap out that clutch. Yeah. Definitely saved a whole bunch of time by leaving the T-case on there. Admittedly, got a little sketchy at one point. And also, it's kind of funny. These are the original headlights. I don't know if it's to the truck, but the ones that were on it in 2010 when it was painted. That's crazy to me. I've ran through 3 different sets of headlights on stuff in the last 3 years. Okay. Choice items. We're going to put it over here with those. Let's see here. We got Grandma's original grill. We got the grill off of the 05 that we did for Taylor's old man. Well, that's not really the grill, but the headlight bezels for the 66. You have to see that on the second channel. I think we'll put this one right there. I like it because it's still got the wind guard that I put on the front of it. What do we call that? Winter blanket for the front grill. That helped a lot for warming that thing up when it was negative degrees. The biggest issue of all was it had these chrome rocker accents added to it. And unfortunately, they got a little bit of moisture behind them. So we're going to have to do a slight bit of metal work. But there is a ton of this glue all over it. So we got to get that cleaned up. We're going to take a stab at trying to save these doors rather than trying to source a set, yada yada. It would be nice if I just had a nice set laying around. But actually, I only have one. It's for the passenger side. I don't have a driver's side that I like enough. Al. They put primer up there, then put the red on. In some areas, they didn't. But down here, this is actually cleaning up pretty dang nice. Just a little bit more with the contour grinder, and that'll be probably fine. Just put some rust inhibitor on there. Hey, Boone, nice of you to show up. Up here was the main issue. Now, you could delete all this, which wouldn't be a bad idea, but I don't think we need to, because it's not really that thin. There's a couple spots that really got hit, so I just went ahead and took the step bit through there. I'm going to go ahead and put something on the back side. I'm just going to weld those up. It seems a lot easier than doing the whole thing, because if you were to take that whole thing off, which you don't need to, back here is still solid. Up there, just fix a couple of those pinholes. It's still got the strength to it. Yeah, I mean, I'm not that worried about it. Just got to be careful. Okay, it's extremely escalated right here. There's a dent on the other side, right there. This side, I feel like it had a little bit of a dent, but not bad. So I had to get out the stud pulling thing. I don't know if I want to save this door or not. I really did, but it's so thin. Like, I got the tinish out of it, because like everywhere's gonna have the floppage, unless it's right on a crease. But I could pull on it a little bit more. Went ahead and filled in some of those holes. Those escalated, as you would figure. But I just went and looked at my donor truck, and the doors are actually mint. It had those rocker things on it, but they got ripped off. The chrome thing. But if you look at it from the inside, yeah. Man, I'll have to go down there and double check, because those other ones, I believe, they got good hinges, you know. So I got like probably 3 hours into this door right now, including sanding, and we might just abandon these doors. The step in the right direction, because then we don't have to do any of this. I'd have to mud all that, and I have to do a little bit of repair. That really needs a patch right there. But it's, yeah. All right, we're gonna put new doors on it. Son of a bitch. Shoot, hood looks like it's even in better shape. Nope. What's going on here? Oh, maybe it is. Thought that was bubble in the paint. Nope, just bubble in the clear. See if I can get this thing out of here. Those doors are actually in really good shape. Discovered something today. These apparently the gasser ones were all made in America. Diesel ones, nope. Someone looked at my gas rig donor, and made in America. It says made in Detroit, Mexico. I've been wondering what to do with this cap for a minute. I thought about selling it as a pretty small, tidal rig. It's still good, but the doors, glad they're gonna get reused. It's unfortunate the ones on the truck ain't good enough. Well, if it was a OG rig that you couldn't just find doors easily, I would fix those. But I don't want to spend all that time on a set of doors that are honestly worth less than the hours, Unfortunate. Basically, only going to use the drivetrain frame and cab. Might end up swapping out the dang hood too. Look at this. Work truck. Yep, you're gonna get stuff like that underneath the hood. It gets, unfortunately, wadded up down there, but what the? This is weird. Huskies, except for I got a Craftsman right there because I lost it. What the? The missing 13? Now, it's not technically the one for that set, but the irony that that came out of this truck just now is crazy. I'm a little speechless right now. I don't even understand it. Callahan came down and gave me a hand. We got both doors tackled. I think the camera time-lapse cut out just as I started throwing a little bit of spray on these. Yeah, pay homage to what was before. Pretty happy that I did that. Just gave it a scuff job and then boom. Crap. I'm gonna go ahead and just touch that real quick. Whoopsie daisies. I don't think anybody will notice but me. Anyway, the doors are on there, relatively good. This one's got a goofy latch. Might just let that ride. Yeah, I don't want to DC the batteries right now, but yeah, boy. Let's make sure the lights turn off in there. Hey, okay, cool. This actually shut really nice. I went ahead and swapped out the lower hinge on both sides because this one wasn't as bad, but the door was sagging quite a bit. If I can get it to... The other one was rattly. Where's that one at? Right here. The upper one's the spring one. The problem with the upper ones is they're not easy to get to. Not easy to get to, even when the truck's torn apart. But we're gonna go ahead and call that a night. Dinner's ready. Step backwards, but a step forward big time. And the other side had a little bit going on under this, but not near as bad as, this way more behaved. That looks like aftermarket. This was put on there to stay on there. But yeah, see this side. We'll just clean that up and mud that. I'm okay with that. Anyway, I gotta pull that dent out too. Okay, we're gonna end it right there. Thank you guys for watching part 2. The new cross member should be here next week. Oh no, overdid the hammer, huh? Where's the rest of it? Let's see. Where'd it go? Oh man, broke a hammer. We've all been there, buddy. Say, sorry Callahan. Better luck next time with the next hammer. I'm gonna end it here, later. Just for a reference on what the truck looks like versus what it can look like. This is a far extreme version of the amount of effort I've put into a second gen. Grandma's old truck. Grandma passed away a little over a year ago, but she got to drive this thing one more time a couple years before she passed away. So I'm gonna take that thing back to the dealer that she bought it from, I think tomorrow, just for a video. But this truck here, I think it's growing on me a lot by it not having a headache rack on it. I mean, it doesn't have a bed on it. But literally there's so much of this truck has gone into every build since then. Obviously the 5-speed manual swap or 6-speed manual swap, I only got the 6. But the heavy duty bumpers on the front and just everything like that, those just all went hand in hand because this truck just coincidentally came with a Rennell front bumper. I got a Rennell on my 04, my sport truck. Someday it'll have a Rennell, but my 98's got a Rennell on it. My buddies from Black Patch Performance, they work with Trail FX, and that's how I got this bumper. But ideally, it's just the same heavy duty stuff to keep the truck safe with these deer. But yeah, I think we're gonna end that one here. Got the shop all cleaned up, got the rigs out. Father-in-law came over and he's working on this Ranchero. I'm gonna go ahead and set this on the ground. He had the wrong wheel cylinder, so it was leaking a little bit. Let's go ahead and set this on the ground. Said he'll come back on Monday, but anyway, don't even worry about that. Is that an intercooler? Weird.